As we all know, meta ads performance can be extremely volatile. I've already talked about it several times on this channel, but in today's video, I want to talk about what you should be doing when things are going well and what you should be doing when things are going poorly. Okay, so I like to refer to it as offense and defense. So in today's video, I'm going to give you some tips on how to think about your performance and what you should be doing when. What I'm about to share with you has minimized the volatility in my ad accounts. So I think it's something that you will really benefit from. So let's jump right into it. All right, guys, let's talk about offense and defense, okay? So, it's February 17th, 2026. A lot of people are complaining about their meta ads results. If I think back to the last 2 years of meta ads performance, right around this time, Meta is releasing a lot of updates, okay? And I saw this, I think it was 2 years ago, it was on Valentine's Day, everything crashed. Last year, it was around this time, again, everything crashed, and same thing this year. It's not that everything crashed per se, it's just, it's volatile, okay? We're post-holidays, we live in a volatile world. The economy's kind of up and down. Meta's releasing a ton of new AI features. There's bugs, there's outages. So kind of makes sense, the demand isn't as high as it was, stuff like that. So anyways, what do we do when our performance falls off a cliff? Well, I like to refer to it as playing defense, okay? And so this is something that I learned a long time ago. It's a little bit counterintuitive, okay? But once I started doing it, it really changed the game for me. So when things used to go wrong, number one, I used to panic. And then I would start trying to relaunch stuff, like touching stuff in the ad account, be closing things, lowering budgets. I would be launching new tests. I would be, doing whatever I could to, in kind of a reactive, frantic manner, to try to save the ad account, okay? And I would react way too quickly as well. It would be like one bad day and I would just like freak out. Nowadays, what I like to do instead is kind of just wait and watch. Okay, so obviously one bad day is no big deal. We focus on 7-day averages at least, at a minimum, okay? And when I say play defense, what I mean is essentially hold position, okay? So try not to lower your spend if you can sustain it, okay? If your average results over a 7-day, 14-day, or 30-day period is good, then you can sustain a day or two or three or five, of bad results if your average is still good, okay? Now, obviously, this really depends on your personal situation, your financial situation, your risk tolerance, all that. But basically, defense means holding position, trying not to close things if I don't have to, watching and waiting. I'm not really launching new tests because if everything's down, okay, if everything is not working, the new thing that you're gonna launch is very unlikely to work. I personally have the luxury of running ads for a lot of different ad accounts, so I can see across a ton of different ad accounts. I also have that, my meta ads community where people are talking about this stuff all day. So I kind of know when it's a bad period for everyone, not just me. So when that happens, I play defense. I hold position, I wait, maybe I downscale a little bit. If the results are really unsustainable and it's just I can't keep the spend, of course, I'll downscale things. I'll usually downscale, like I'll sort by last 7 days. I will start downscaling things that are spending the most and giving me the worst results. And ideally, I try to leave things that have been around for a very long time, like campaigns that have been around for a very long time, that have a lot of conversion data. I try to leave those things alone, okay, as best as I can. I try to keep my spend as high as possible because I work so hard to get up to that spend. Going back down, it's tough because then you're gonna have to work yourself back up again. So, I try to keep my spends as high as possible, but, if I have to downscale, I will, meaning lowering spends or cutting things that are just giving me bad results and spending a lot. And basically, I will make my move, so I'll downscale, and then I'll give it 2 or 3 days. And then I'll see how the ad account reacts. I don't just like do it again the next day if the results aren't good still. No, I'll wait. And so in that way, you're moving in a more methodical way, in a more intentional way, and you can actually see the outcomes of your decisions. So that's essentially what I mean when I say play defense. You stay calm, you become very observant, you hold position if possible, okay? If you can't hold position, then you start downscaling, starting from the worst that's spending the most, and maybe the most recent things that you've launched that aren't working, and you try to guard the things that have been working for a long time historically or have a lot of conversion data or are like the foundation of your ad account. And then things will start to turn around, okay? Things just like it's like a cycle, you know, things go down, things come back up. When you start to notice the trajectory of your ad account is heading in a positive direction, that is when we switch into offense mode. Okay, so if you notice you have like 2 days of good results in a row, or 3 days is starting to head positively, everything in your ad account just feels like it's improving, that's when I switch to offense mode. So what does that mean? I am launching new tests. I am potentially scaling things. I am moving a little bit more aggressively in the ad account. I might be optimizing things. So just a little bit more hands-on. Okay, so yeah, I used to think like when things were going bad, I needed to launch new things. I needed to save the account. But in reality, what I should have been doing was just kind of holding position, just kind of waiting, just kind of watching, maybe downscaling here and there, but just not overly reacting to just like 1 day, 2 days, 3 days of bad results, okay? And then when it comes to offense, if everything is working, the new thing that you launch is very likely to work as well. It's just like the demand is there, or the algorithm is on point, everything is kind of in a rhythm, everything is kind of working. That's when you step on the gas. That's when you start scaling. That's when you start launching. I'm still moving in a methodical way, okay? I'm still launching something, giving it 2-3 days, watching, but I'm more hands-on. So that is what I refer to when I say offense versus defense. I know this is more of a theoretical discussion, but I think, you know, if you've been running ads and you've experienced this up and down, it will make a lot of sense to you. So that's all I wanted to share with you. Appreciate you watching. See you in the next one. All right, you guys, that's it for today's video. Really appreciate you joining. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer. If you want to join weekly calls with me where we're discussing the absolute latest that's working on the platform, I recommend that you join Meta Ads Mastery. It is a private community of serious advertisers who are upping their game every single day. The group is growing fast and we are currently at the lowest price it will ever be. So I recommend that you join right now before the price goes up so that you can get grandfathered in at our lowest rate. I appreciate you watching and I'll see you in the next one.